Nanny was not so good at stories, but she had flashes of sense, as one night, when David preferred to sit up in bed instead of lying down to go to sleep, she hinted that a black man might possibly come down the chimney unless he put his head properly on the pillow. David knew that it was not likely, for it would have to be a very small man indeed, and fireproof. But there was some glimmering of a real idea in it. So he was not the least frightened and asked with interest if he would be like bacon or beef before he got through the fire. This exploded any sense there might have been in Annie's original idea at once, because she threatened to go downstairs and tell his mother if he wouldn't lie down. A very poor ending to the black man coming down the chimney. Nanny clearly knew nothing about him really, if she so quickly got sleepy and talked about fetching his mother. Nobody grown up ever woke to the real world for more than a minute or two at a time, except perhaps his father, who spent so many hours in a big room called the laboratory. There, he seemed to dabble in realities, for he could put a fragment of something on the water and it began to blaze. Or he could mix a powder out of certain bottles, and when it was lit, it burned with so red a flame that his father looked as if he was illuminated inside like a turnip ghost. Or he could, by another mixture, produce a smell that he said was tincture of rotten eggs, and was really made of the ghosts of bad eggs ground up and exorcised. But then, poor man, he got grown up, and when, subsequently, David wanted to know what the ghosts of bad eggs looked like when they were exorcised, he muttered in his sleep something about sulfurated hydrogen. David was now just turned 6, as Nanny expressed it, and knew that he had only about 4 years more in front of him before he began to lapse into that drowsy state of grown-upishness which begins when boys are 10 or thereabouts and lasts, getting worse and worse till they are 20 or 70 or anything else. If he was going to find the real world, of which he caught glimpses now and then, he must do so without losing much time. There was probably a door into it. For a long time, he had hoped that it was the door in the ground by the lake. But one day he had found that door open, and it was an awful disappointment to see that it only contained a tap and a round opening, to which presently the gardener fixed a long curly pipe. When he turned the tap, the pipe gave some jolly chuckling noises and began to stream with water at its far end. Now, that was very delightful, and consoled David a little for the disappointment. And then, one night, he had a clue.